Good morning, this is Steve from Go Figure Farm. It's August 22nd, Saturday morning, very humid, not very hot, but very humid. And we had a dry stretch in the summer, but more recently we've been getting some rains, but not too excessively. We got pretty lucky that way. I'm in Maryland, but some areas closer to the coast have gotten a lot of rain, which is not good for the fig harvest. I just wanted to talk today briefly about Pastiliere. This is a variety that I got, which originated from Paolo Bologna in Italy, and it's done great for me. It's always one of the first figs to wake up in the spring, to start growing. It's also one of the first figs, if not the first fig, to start developing fruit. I never have to pinch it, it just starts developing fruit at the appropriate time. And I've been getting a lot of fruit off of this tree. Let's see, it's been in the ground about 3 years. I think this is its 4 years. This is its 4th season in ground. And I have a pal coming up. 4th season in ground, and it's always dropped a few figs up until this season. So the first season it started bearing, it didn't drop very many, it dropped some. Then the second season, which was last year, it dropped a few more, and I was getting a little concerned about that. But this season it's hardly dropped any, and it just keeps producing ripe fruits that are amazingly good. They have the cracks in the skin, kind of a blue powdery skin, which is really nice. These are some I just picked. And they're just beautiful figs. I'll open one up here in a second. I think, they are somewhat sensitive to insect damage. If you have a lot of spotted winged Drosophila at the time they're ripening, I can imagine that this fig would probably attract quite a few of those critters. I also have trouble with wasps and hornets and yellow jackets. So far I haven't really had that this year, but I suspect they will come as the season progresses. But it's an early fig, I forgot to mention that. It's one of the earliest to ripen for me. And it seems to have gotten in front of the onslaught of the insects, which I usually get more in later August into September. So far so good with the insects. I do use these organza bags to some degree, and that helps. Although I did find one year that the hornets were actually chewing through the organza bags to get to the figs. So this particular variety has a somewhat open eye. It's definitely open on this particular fruit, but I've noticed that some fruits it's not all that open. These are actually pretty far, quite ripe. The riper it gets, the more open the eye is. But it varies from fruit to fruit, and there's also some size variation from fruit to fruit. But let me just open one up, and I'll comment on the flavor. Okay, it's 2 days later. I actually lost the video footage when I tasted the fig out in the orchard, and I have some figs here that I picked yesterday and stored in the fridge. This one, and this one are Pastiliere. These two are Improved Celeste, and this is this I think is a Mount Etna. I can't remember which Mount Etna. Maybe Malta Black. This is this large green fig is Bécon, French fig. So anyway, the focus of this video is Pastiliere, and I just wanted to do a tasting at the end of the video here. So I'm going to taste this one, and you can get more of an impression of what the fruit looks like close up. It does have these cracks, so in hot, humid weather, you have to really pick these things. It's probably good to actually pick them twice a day to try to get them at their optimum ripeness, but not too ripe, and then they spoil. So I'm gonna pause, cut it open, and then start back up. Okay, here we go. So you can see that there's kind of a void. The pulp is very characteristic on this variety, just the way it looks. There's usually a bit of a void like that. So let me just taste this. Yeah, it's relatively sweet. Definitely some berry flavors in there. Kind of a creaminess, but just a really pleasant tasting fig. And here's my pal again, Ricky. But an excellent tasting fig, very early and cold hardy, and very productive as you saw. So definitely recommend this variety for East Coast where I live. This is Steve from Go Figure Farm. Thanks for watching.